Okay, let's see what this be like. Man, trying to set up all that night stuff. What is that? Dashboard, scheduling? That's kind of hard. But I set this up for a particular reason. And that's because I wanted to speak more on our ancient ones, the ancestors. And I want to continue first by doing some reading so that people get an understanding. I couldn't get my that's what's up. Good to see you. What's going on, Zigzag Ziggler? All right. So I wanted to pick up from where we left off and about the ancient ones because it has a lot to do with my experience. Excuse me. Our experience that we're going to be experiencing and how we're going to adapt to the new biophysiology of ourselves, how to astral project, how to change our genetics, how to use the ancestors, everything, So why do we need money to be free in this world? That's what's up. Good to see you. Yes, that's what's up. We have no other choice. We're not in a free world. We're actually in somebody's mind. We don't need money. But according to the mind that we're under, it's designed to keep us from learning this information that I'm trying to pass on to you so they can keep you occupied. It's not about the money. Think about it. If they create the money, what do they need the money for? It's about the power. You understand? They like the control. Once they could control you, then everything takes on a different account. So, you know, I want you to know money is important if you want to navigate in this world, but it's not about the money. The money is going to take you off what you're supposed to do. Like they say, money is the root of all evil, but they create it just to control you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we chase. It's a seal. You look at it, it's actually like you could say a spell, a curse, a sigil. We don't know what those symbols is. Those are sigils, and each one of them is a spell that we all get caught up in. So I wanted to get into this little part before we begin because, like, our journey as the with the ancestors, it doesn't start on no ancestor stuff or whatever we think as far as worshiping, getting these altars set up, repeating what we see in biblical terms. It's really about connecting back with yourself, your true self, who you are. You're already an ancestor, and you're already an angel. You're already a reptilian. You're already a whole bunch of beings, and it's for you to connect with them instead of having the government and everybody tricking you, telling you it's external things outside of you. So this is going to help you align yourself with all information because they're the same. It's one universal information, but spread out and to fit different cultures. So we're going to connect them all. And let me see if this, you can see what this is. This is what I'm gonna be going from. If it's on your side the right way, this is by this author. The name of it is the Afrocentric Tarot of the Kalas. It's very important to realize that we started Tantra. The whole Tantra thing, we really had that going back in Africa more to connect ourselves because we was more like the Nephilims. We come from the family of the Nephilims, which is the giants, which was very sloppy people. So from the ancient of days, they had to learn yoga to actually get their posture together, their body into position, which led to Kundalini and actually Tantra and higher spirituality, which was always there. We just didn't know it existed. It's more to us as we evolve that we don't know exists within us. So this is important to know. That's why Tantra is taken away. So I'm going to do a quick reading before we start so we get a good understanding of how, this dates back to West Africa when I tell you about the Negroes and the different Negritos and the Kafars and the Hottentotans and the Etruscans. You get to understand where you fit in because some of us is mixed with all of them. Some of us retain most of our genetics from the original strand, and this is where you get most of your spiritual powers. So this is now from the Cult of Shadows. Let me read. It says, the Tree of Life has been described as the ground plan for the Western esoteric tradition. In this and in much more, a sense of other than that demonstrated in the previous chapter. It delineates a capability of illuminating the arcane system of classical antiquity by reference to the cults from which they originally emerged, the cults of Africa. Therefore, traces of some of the most obscure magical languages are yet exact in some of the good names, places, and ancient dialects of Africa. In the West African fetish cults, for instance, are previous some of the primal names of magical power that were carried over and integrated with Egypt and Chaldea traditions at much later time or in earlier ages. This is the pantheon of these primal cults are replete with names suggesting Enochian, Atlantean, and even earlier rootage. You see, it's funny when we start talking Enochian, Atlantean, you talking Africa, the beginning. This is why you have to understand this is deeper than what we think, and there's a lot of deception going on. Because I'm reading to you about the early ancestors, the ancient ones, and now this is involving not just Atlantis, which the information is going to come in, it's going to involve the Chaldeans too. And this is where we're going to learn about Demions, because with the Chaldeans, you learn about Asclepius and a whole bunch of other beings. Asclepius is a god too. They equate him to the god of healing, but there's more to it that we're going to learn now from this. So this goes for you to understand it in an easier term. They have the Lumerian scrolls. The Lumerian scrolls give you a greater, broader, expanded view upon how everything worked, because it gives you the yugas, which is the epochs, when we was animal and when we became human, went back to animal in different yugas. And we're in yugas now. We're in the Kali Yuga, and you have to realize everybody's actually in a low vibratory frequency of consciousness right now because of the Yuga women, and only certain people is going to have higher consciousness with the ancestors coming, trickling it and dropping it on certain individuals that actually accepted the change. The 2012, you could say, an increase in the pulse of the sun. As a lot of people who descended and a lot of people who ascended. Those people that is tuning in, those people who are seeking higher knowledge, is actually the ones who accepted now the genetic upgrade. And then you have a lot of people who's dying off, being sick, or can't accept life right now and going through a lot of trauma. Those was the people that denied it and think things was going to stay the same. So on that note, that's the real information. So when we talking the Enochian part now, we talking Ethiopia. You see, the Enochian information, I don't know where we got it in our head it come from, but it actually comes from Ethiopia. Well, when we're talking Enochian magic, angels, Michael, Gabriel's, this Enochian led to Hebrew. You understand? So we going past everything to the source of everything. So when they put it in the term of Enochian, they mean Ethiopian. You understand? So we're getting it pure, and that's where I'm leaving off. So we got the name now. It says Odudua, because I don't too good in those languages. That's Odudua or Odudua. All right, that's the supreme generations worshipped by the peoples of Yoruba, Dahomey, and Benin, and neighboring kingdoms, was undoubtedly the type names and the root of most ancient deities known to man, later worshipped in masculine form as Odu, as Od, Ad, or Had, Had, or Hadit, which became Neith. This is now the Chaldean form of Set. You understand? Which is similarly, which is Olu, O-L-I and O-L-U-R-U-M, Olurum, or Oludumare, O-L-U-D-U-M-A-R-E. So now, these is all the ancient African names, so you could get an example of how they worked. All right? I'm going to come back to these and run these things that you're saying. May I apologize for this? No problem. All right. The all-powerful carries distinctly Enochian echoes. Now, you got to realize when I'm telling you Enochian, we're going to get back to this in more of these little talks, because when we go into Ethiopia, when we're talking about the blacks, the mix, everything, you got to understand, because it's going to hold a toll to Jesus, the whole story, how it gets converted to European and Muslim, and to the Ottomans, to the Chinese, to everybody. It spreads out. So, but by understanding these basic parts of it, you get to see how we've been perpetrated on all the sciences and all these theologies. And it's really about you by doing the genetics and the kundalini and finding your devis and getting back on your destiny. But first we got to break the spell. To break the spell of all these religions and theologies, it's all one. Once you get the Kabbalah system, you'll understand everything on whole. Magic become easy for you. It will become easy. All right, so now we're going to Oga, Ogaogo. This is very important because that means the most glorious, and it's reminiscent of Ago, Arogo, Ago, and this is Ruabrau, Ruabu. And this, that's the mighty satanic invocation that had been translated as "Thou spiritual son," or Satan, or "Thou I," or "Thou lust." This is all part of what we call the world of the will, or the Father, or Satan, or the Son. This is all written now about it in the African version. See, they didn't have duality like how we had it between Satan and the devil, because most of this is going to come down to words like El Shaitan, El Shadiq. All of these is the same thing as saying Satan. El Shadiq means Satan. El Shaitan, that's the original word. See, when we transferred our language over from Arabic, they did the switcheroo on us. You understand? And put duality in our mind, in our consciousness, good, bad, and make us deny ourselves experiences, prejudging our experience. So we have to understand this part. Okay, now, both these deities, Olarum and Oga, that's how it's spelling Ogo, are expressions of the Ain, A-I-N, or Eye of the Void, which is the primordial African cult, which was known as the Elam, E-L-E-M-I. Elamai, you got to realize, is the Eloesians and the Delphis that transferred over now when you're talking the first original cults. So there was already existing in West Africa as the Elemi. You could Google it, the Elamai. And that's a name which was said to be incommunicatable, meaning they couldn't just take it and say it like the actual Yahe Vahe of the Tetragrammaton, which is, you're not supposed to say it. And in Egypt, it was the letter L. You're not supposed to have it in their alphabet. You can say it because it represented L, which we're going to get into. So it was equivalent, and it comes up. I'll let you see. It says that this is equivalent to L. That's where we're at now. All of this, I'll let you see for yourself if y'all want to read along, because we need to know this information. I'll give you the source to this book so you could get it. You see, we're up to here. You see, it says it's equivalent to L and Al. That's very important. The two wars that's going on between L's and Al's. The Al's the Islamic, and the L's the Hebrews or Israel, is the same war between Set and God. You want to say it for the two that's going on. So, and death, we really the end of consciousness. So is death really the end of consciousness? No, death is the beginning of consciousness, not the end of it. Right now, you're unconscious. Black Hulk, 1K, what's good? I'm gonna put this down to the side so I could communicate with y'all live. I don't want to get too not connected. We're here connected. So, you can't. Death is not the beginning of your consciousness dying. It's the beginning of you being fully conscious. You come from there. What we consider death is another world, the world you come from, the etheric world, where everything exists and you can't die. Now, when you come here, you fall into an unconscious state of the etheric world where you're from, the all-knowing, the nous. And when you fall, It's you get programmed to be a certain way. You get spanked by your parents. You get certain information that when you came here, you saw everything perfect. You saw everything and knew everything at first sight. But as information come into you, you filter out a lot of this reality that would have made sense. You filter out your macabre. You filter out your spirits, and then you only see the fine tuning things that you're seeing now of your reality. It's the same like tuning out somebody that you're feeling is negative or a bad dream. We have been doing that for a long time. So we put ourselves into an unconscious state. And being that society is pushing on you to be this way, to be, the lawyer, Indian, Dr. Chief, we suppress our true self. You get automated. All right, the forbidden knowledge. I don't want to get too automated. I'm just trying to convey the message. So work with me here. Now, let's run back for a few questions so we could get those on the way, and we could take it from there. Peace and blessing, Raven. It's nice to see you. Narisha Cummins. Personally, I don't like to have a word with you. There are things I just need to ask myself in all thoughts. That's what's up, Narisha. May I apologize for this. How if your family is evil? Well, let's go to that, Narisha Cummins. Now, evil, right? Let's talk about that. What is evil is not a person. A person can be evil, but an interaction with another person could lead to evil things. That's why you got ego and egotisticalness, because it's the interaction. If I put you by yourself, you can't have an ego and you can't be egotistical. It's just you and your mind now. But once you interact with another human being, the two of you start speaking. You're not going to speak the truth about yourself. It's just not in our human nature to do that. So our egos start talking. If we could communicate, which we can, like animals, we can sense vibration. We don't have to say nothing to each other. But once we start communicating, our ego spits out our mouth. And when we do that, that's when we have all of our problems. Everything now become an issue. So those is more what we have to learn to control what we're actually feeling, what we're actually going to say before we actually engage with a lot of people. And so when you look at family and you're saying evil, it's actually uniting with your family. Let me give you an example of what we call evil hate in the family unit. When your mother imposed her will too much on you, or your father imposed his will too much on you, you have this thing called individuality. You lose your individuality. You was born with your own individuality. So what happens is you put up a defense system now. Automatically, hate comes in. That's the defense system. It's made to keep you have your own self, your individual self. So it means if you have to get out your household, you have to war with your family. It's not that you're warring for principles. You're warring more for your individuality. That's what it's about. So let's go now. Let me see. Well, it's not. You don't have to speak, Natasha. You don't have to actually speak anymore. It's not about speaking, because once you become an empath, most of the warring is actually the energy you're feeling. So in terms of actually speaking, you would think that looking outside of yourself and externalizing it, it's just going to add more sensations onto yourself, which is going to make your endocrinology system go off, which is going to put you into a different state of mind, sometime a reptilian state, where it's going to actually turn not just egotistical, but it makes you sick, where your blood constrains, your vein constrained, and you actually produce a bad chemical reaction. So for you to do all of that to yourself, you could just not engage. So if you feel the vibrations of certain people and it's not conducive towards your magnetic field, you have to leave it. That's what your spirit is telling you. By you not speaking, that's a good form, but it's actually to take yourself out of the situation before your soul disassociate from you. This is where you get zombies from. It's a lot of people walking around here with the zombie system because their parents implanted that into them and they couldn't take themselves out of it. And then finally, you don't truly show the L and L. You didn't really truly show the L and L. Raven, I'm gonna get back to that definitely, and the consciousness of this don't die. All right, now back to this. I want to keep it going. Peace, my brother Diblios expert. Now the hate, right? It's good. You have to control the hate because we're going into the world of the Debbies, into the Demions, to your true self, star beings, astral beings. It's a world of forces. So, yo, what's good, Lord? Michael, what's good? All right, Raven. Do you want to speak anymore? Because yes, definitely, definitely. Um, Now, when you have to learn to control your emotions, control your feelings, we're talking now getting into the other side. When you're going into your inner self, when you're going astral traveling, all you seeing is these beings that only thing they could do, they can't hurt you physically, so they attack you psychically. These is where you have your feelings of hate, anger, desires. All these come up. It's a psychic feeling that you have to learn to overcome if you plan on taking a trip to go home to the other side, because that's their job, to mortificate you, to upset you, to make you not be able to see the light on the other side. So by me telling you to disassociate from different people, it's not the fact of actually thinking you're better or to isolate yourself. It's to save your soul from disassociating from you. You come with instructions. It speaks to you. It's your intuition. And so if you're actually engaging in what you call hate, anger, you could catch it and interpret it at the first stage of it and say, if I engage in this, it's just going to get worse, or it's going to make my soul disassociate from me because it's telling me either to, not to say it's wrong, punch him in the face, tell him no, speak up the truth. And if you see that it's going to turn into a war, a little disagreement, you might come out on the short end and your energy get drained. A succubus might come in your macabre. Do you want to engage in those things? Think about it. So for that, you just take yourself away and let that circle be. It's many dimensions of people here, and everybody is in their own dimension. Even though we're from one God, you can have people that's from the light working side, and you have people that's here from the beast. The people from the beast is here to teach people lessons too. Just like the light workers is here to heal people and help people. They're not in conflict with each other. You understand what I'm saying? But we put ourselves in conflict if we watch these TV shows, believe all the stuff that we're seeing. We think it and bring it into our life. And then we react off of it because of the chemicals. We love it. And we keep on putting ourselves in these dramatic situations when you could just take yourself away from it. So for you to ascend and to actually do these things, let's go into it so you get a better understanding. You will have to do something like Hatha Yoga. Now, say you wanted to get into Hatha Yoga, you was invited into the astral world, the underworld, and you seeing beings, you seeing spiritual beings. And I'm not gonna exclusive it just to seeing, because that is your ultimate goal, to be a seer. That will make you now be able to predict things and know things and help people in the most profoundest ways. But you have people who have intuitions that could just come in the room with you and tell you everything about you. It's the same thing as a seer. They got the power to just channel in the ethers, and everything is this, the Akashic records, it's your mind. And so that's what you're going to focus on when we're talking about going now into these other worlds. And so for you to take that journey into the other worlds, you will have to learn the Hatha Yoga and these methods that will put your mind into a stable place. That's what it first has to be stabilized, because you're going to chase your desire for this, your passion for that. Even you get a little power, meaning you could, have some type of input on people's mind. You could influence something. You're going to use it in a negative way. And so you got to be careful first to purify your mind so you don't sin your soul. It's not you're going to get in trouble for it, because for you to learn, you have to mess up. You're going to have to do something wrong, but it's okay. What is wrong is if you love what you're doing wrong. And when you love what you're doing wrong, that power now is going to turn against you. And that's where your soul goes. And you have to pay for that. So we try to avoid that through doing the yogas first. So I say Hatha Yoga will help you learn to control your different attitudes, your different mentalities, the things you're thinking. You know, once you're able to control those, then you're ready for more of your kundalini releasing. If you're starting to have a kundalini activation, and I'm gonna tell you when it is, when you're sexually active. As a sexually active person is a person that's blocked. And when you are blocked, you go seek sex. It's not for sex. It's making the fluids to go up your spine to connect your pituitary gland to your pineal gland so you could at nights go visit the ancestors. The ancient ones is actually a part of your cells, part of your body, but they're dormant. So you have to leave through your pineal gland to go actually witness them. It's in the air, but we call it the astral world. It's an invisible world that permeates through your skin, through every type of objects that's solid, and it's everywhere. So it's like you connect, making a connection to a higher yourself, a future you, the real you. And when you do that and you go in there, it's like a code that is only catered to you. And so you see a whole bunch of you, many aspects of yourself, your splits, you when you was a child. These is all parts of your ego compartmentalized that you have to face now. So you would think it's ghosts, ancestors, evil spirits, but it's you, your true form of what makes up your skin. Your skin reflections is layers upon the layer upon calcifications of light, of you being first light beings and shadow beings and coming together. And so that's what makes you a hologram that's fractal, meaning you have sound, light, and you could travel through yourself to the universe. So you learn this science now. That's what they're going to be teaching you. You know, Dan Winters teaching fractal science. You have a whole bunch of people that they're breaking it down, trying to introduce it to you, but it's all within yourself. You know, but you can't really look out and think that everything is outside yourself, because it first got to break you seeing it how you see it on TV, how you see it on YouTube, how they tell you in a book, because you have it your own way. What you need is just the beginning stages. All right, how do I get in? All right, you get in by stop thinking. Stop being who you think you are. Just let your body be. Once you do that, you put yourself to the zero, how you call it? The 0 point reference point where everything is at ground level. You being resonant with the earth, with the magnetic field. And then from there, a new power in you come up. The real you come up. And your mentor self, your higher self. So how would you get to these higher selves, and how would you get into this doorway to the tree of life? And we're going to talk about the tree of life so you understand the day side and the night side, because we're on the night side now. The tree, how you get into it is through your breathing. You have two you, your conscious self and your unconscious self or subconscious. So what makes the difference is when you're in your conscious self, you're in your abdomen. Everything you feel in your abdomen, you're a feeling person. So you will have to leave your abdomen and come up to your brain, the knower. And so only way you could do it is through pressure. Like when your father pull out his belt and tell you, you know, sit there and read your books, and you do it real good, get all A's, perfect. If he ain't there, you on the phone, you chilling, you doing a little bit of this. It's the pressure. So when you want to put pressure on yourself, the discipline on yourself, you will hold your breath. Exhale all the air out of you, like I've said before. This is how you achieve anything you're going to do consciously. Think about it. When you're going to, somebody say, hey, where's this at? Or where's that at? And you was unconscious. You first thing you do is take a breath. That's the breath. That's the breath that take you to your higher self. Because you're always breathing in an unrhythmic way that makes you kill yourself. And so that's one thing you have to learn. The breath is actually the one that's going to get you. So to die inside is good. I have to choose to be here. I hate here. Well, okay. You know, let me finish with getting to the higher self. When you get yourself out of this lower way of thinking, you become a knower. A higher self is the knower. But by constraining your breath, by letting your air out, pushing in your abs, let it all in. This is how you get what's called prana. You don't use air to breathe. You breathe off of prana. Air is demon. It's bad spirits. It's what they got now, that they're putting all the toxicants and heavy metals in through the chemtrail and everything to kill you. So to avoid that, you want to do prana breathing. How can I go within myself to know what's going on with me, and how do you do hatha yoga? Well, Michael, that's what I'm explaining right now, how to go within yourself. So you could try it right now with me as I'm telling you how to do it. Which is, first, I want you to just sit and relax. If you're sitting and relaxing, you just gotta make sure you get all your thoughts out yourself. It ain't no quick 1, 2, 3. You just gotta relax for a few minutes. Once you get yourself in a perfectly relaxed state and you think you got a lot of things off your mind, then you're ready to try to start it. So the first thing you will want to do is actually do your breathing, because it's your breathing that got you in your lower self. So you will start now, only breathe through your nose. Never breathe through your mouth, because your mouth breathes in all the bad toxicants. So you will only breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth first. You just want to settle yourself, get yourself at peace. You want to tune into the higher frequencies, but now you have to let alkaline into your blood. You will feel probably a little dizziness coming when you do it about 5, 6 times. So you will breathe in through your mouth and you will only breathe out through your nose. Keep doing that. You're alkaline in your blood and you're calming yourself down. You're relaxing. Once you get yourself to a relaxed state now, this is where you get it more complicated with the breathing, because it's still all about the breathing, and that's going to open up the Daf gate of your third eye. It's also going to take your consciousness up here and leave all the world of problems of the lower self. So that's what we're doing. Just do the breathing now, get yourself in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. So, say you did about 5, 6. Now hold the stomach in, squeeze the stomach in, and let this last one out through your nose. Let it all out and keep blowing it out. Now you're almost ready. I want you now to just hold that last breath and count to 10. Hold it for 10 seconds. And now as you count for 10 seconds, close your eyes and close your eyelids and look straight ahead in the darkness of your eyes. Just look straight ahead. And now start slowly bringing it in through your nose. But I want you to breathe through your pores. Feel your intestines pulling in the air. Feel your lungs pulling air. It's like you're slowly sucking in just a little bit, because it's prana you're breathing. It's not air. So you're feeling like you're going to suffocate a little bit, but just breathe it in slowly and pull it in from all your organs, from all your cells on your skin. Pull it in. And that's what you're breathing in, prana. And now keep your constrainment breathing down there. You shouldn't be breathing no more than a fashion like this down there. When you get to enough, redefine breathing where it's not actually chest breathing or breathing. Breathing should be subtle, just subtle movement, like how my hand is very subtle, but you're okay with that. You find peace within that chaos of not being able to catch these big breaths. And as you close your eyes now, you should see space warping, or some orbs, some circles coming in. This is the start of you opening up the Daf gate, or reactivating back your pineal, making it vibrate. It's starting to vibrate now. And by you paying it attention, it's the same thing like when we talk about DNA expressing itself. By you focusing attention on something, you give it life. So you're giving life to your pineal gland by focusing upon what the pineal will see, which is colors in different spectrums. So that's what you start looking at, colors. You can start even imagining shapes. This is now tetragrammaton, where we get into willing things. Just as long as you're seeing something straight there, this is the journey. It takes you to your mentor. It takes you to Cyrus, all the different places, and it gets more real. It doesn't stay like that. That right there is enough to help you even when you're upset, when you're angry. Do the breathing technique. Breathe out and slowly breathe in. It'll calm you down. It'll put you back to your higher self, and the fear will go away. Now, there's other parts to it I would teach you to help you now. We could, for the beginners, let's stop the eyes closed and get back to this for a second. You can now Once you're in that low state of breathing and you're calm, you could take one of your hands. I would suggest your right hand, and take it and you will put it over your pineal. And I want you to imagine when you breathe out through your nose that your arm is like a straw, a funnel, and breathe into your hand and into the palm of your hand, into your diaphragm gate to get it vibrating. You could do that. You breathe in ethereal energy with the palm of your hands. This is one is an inhale and one is an exhale. You have a feminine and a masculine. You got positive and negative energy, anti and anti. You just can't see it. It's swirling right now. And only way you could feel it is actually by going like this. If you want to feel it, take your hands and slowly start puffing it like if it was a sponge in between there. But like I said, it's by your observation. So by now look in between where your thumb and fingers is at. If you look in between there while you pumping slowly, you will feel the energy going into your palms, and the magnetic field will build up now, and it will feel like it's actually a strong field around your hands. You know, this strong field, that's the actual ethereal energy exchanger. So you hold it still like a magnet now, and you actually building up ethereal energies circulating through your whole body from hand to hand. It's a whole connection right there. And that's the first connection. So take a second now and feel the little ball. The more you focus in the middle, you will see like a more out of focus of the background, and only where you're looking at become like a little ball focus. And just move your hands slightly in and out, very softly, very soft. You see, all of a sudden you can't pull and you can't push in. It's like it's stuck. Do you have your hand feeling that yet? You know, once you're able to feel this, you're able to start your Megan shield. This is the Megan shield right here. You could take this now and hold it still. If you could keep the pressure very steady and bring it onto yourself for protection, this is your shield. You know, and it actually is energy being pushed. So you would take it and you will put it into yourself. But as long as you feel it, hold it so you feel it, keeping your focus and attention on it. Remember, only things that exist is what you see. What's behind you, it don't exist no more. And so you will take that energy and push it into yourself, into your heart. This is just one layer out of many layers of the ancestor energy you need to acquire a strong enough magnetic field to affect your reality, to change it. You know, once you realize these now is the actual inputs and output. Now, how can I go within myself to know how what's going on? Let me see. Wow. Wow, wow, you live and y'all just got happen to get. All right, Latoria, hi, what's going on? Hey, Lord Enki, what do you do things about? Let me catch up with some of these. Hey, Lord Enki, what do you keep flipping on me? What do you think about the ancient pyramids? Are you switching from breathing through nose and through mouth the next time interchange? Danielle Cormanis, no, we don't breathe in through the mouth though. You only breathe in through the nose. But when we're doing the actual astral, or when we're going into meditation, you're gonna stop breathing. Breathing shouldn't be important to you, because prana is now circulating from the top of your crown to the root chakra. It's a circulating energy. So when we did the slow breathing coming in and we was trying to breathe through our pores, it's like you got a tube the size of these two fingers, your biggest pointer finger, and this is the size of your tube. If you want to see that prana actually circulate through, it's like the esophagus. And so it goes up and down. It just circulate up and down, but it's doing it fast and then slow. It's going up and down fast and slow. And so this is what you're really breathing. So now when you go into meditation, you forget all about breathing and you just focus on your journey, just being nothing. You don't exist no more. See yourself as just being in space, in darkness. And once you're silenced within yourself, your mind, that is your mind, you will hear the ancestors. They're the cells all on your body. They will give you intuitional talk, and some of y'all have many different gifts. Some of y'all will have angels come now and take you someplace. Some of y'all is gonna see demons. Some of y'all is just gonna see nothing. Some of y'all gonna see a window, a portal. Some of y'all gonna see orbs. You're gonna see colors such as purple, yellow, orange. All of these different different gifts and abilities that's afforded to different persons. Each one is going to show you by taking you through your chakras. As you go through the chakras, which is the colors you're seeing, the circles you're seeing, the shapes you're seeing, it's like you're penetrating something that's closed, your nadis, the knots. So you might see right here this little black pore, but the rest of it is closed until you send that light through it, which is going to open it up. As it opens up, it sends you through. And you now go through, and you're ready for the next one. And so once you do it, it folds over. You will see it. And so that's the journey you're taking through light. But this is not the average light you're used to like this. It's a dark light because it's ether. Ether is a dark magenta, infrared, those colors that only the third eye could detect. And the third eye got a mini version of you, just like it got the mini version of the celestial that traveled through those worlds. So that's how you're going when you see yourself as subatomic and you're going into a lower world. Now, those is the what you would first experience, but through hatha yoga, the yoga will discipline the mind to not trip out, because these have experiences where you have ancestor spirit, ancient ones that come back to every part of yourself. For you to understand it, you read in the Gnostic Bible, it tells you angels came, and it tells you more detail of how they built it. It wasn't built by God, it was built by some scheming angels. And they be like, your fingernail was made by Kubalaya, this part of your finger is this being. This part of your finger is this being. So this part of your hand is this being. And so you are made up of a whole bunch of beings that come together to form you. And so when you become back the ancient one, it's like you become like an animal perfect being that is like a cloud being. You switch, you could change it, or the animals is your arms, nature is your legs, everything come back to you. And so you have these feelings that's going to go throughout your body, but how you experience it is by actually doing what I just showed you. First, the Megan shield is how you get in the magnetic field. But now you're not going to use just your hands and put it up. The magnetic field is when you sit and you concentrate, like you see the Pharaoh sitting in his chair, and zone out. You create this magnetic field like Sue and X-Men around you. Now, the purpose is not just to have this magnetic field. It's not about you in a way. It's healing powers that everybody have in their Merkaba. This symbol right here is your Merkaba. And it's also psychological to your subconscious mind. It's on a lot of things like the pyramid, the eye. It's subconscious to you. It is the eye. And so when you see the all-seeing eye, that's God. And your God is in you, and you have to wake him up and remind him. So a lot of people, they could start their journey by just symbolizing the pyramid, the eye. Putting their hands together also makes a full circulation of the etheric energy to make it flow. This also makes a full circulation, these two. And you know, every time you want full circulation, your hands don't have to touch and they don't have to meet. Full circulation could be done with one hand just by doing this. That's why you see them. You make a full joint that's still run around, full circulation. So you have to understand these things and pressure. If you're going to do full circulation, you can't just do full circulation for 5 minutes like this. You have to do it for 15 minutes. Yes, the longest finger, Latora, the longest finger, that would be your fuck you finger, if you want to be real, and your thumb. That's the powerfulest one. People do these, but this is not full connection. The full connection is with the longest finger, with the thumb, completes a full unit of your connection, male, female, right here. You understand? Same thing. Male, female between the hands, just facing them at each other and giving them attention. You will feel some type of calcification taking place within the magnetic field of the center of your palms. You see, you got the power to heal. You even got the power to knock things over by just using your mind and these. Like if you could take your hand and just twirl it around and focus what you're looking at. You could actually feel a sensation in the palm of your hand. It's like a calcification taking place in the center of the palm of your hand. So, from our ancient ancestors, they would put a thought, say for instance, this pen or whatever was missing and I wanted to find it. I will picture this in my head and then with my eyes closed, just go around the room making this symbol. And once I feel that calcification or the heat coming into my center of my palm, that's the direction that that object is in. So you can use it to find your keys. You could scribe on a map. You could use it to do heat in the palm of hand, picture in head. Yes, Latoria, definitely. Thanks is having tongue hitting the roof of mouth. Something is good to usually do. What's told is to help connect higher and lower self. Is that something to keep doing during meditation? All right, Danielle Kwamani, the tongue hitting on the top of the roof of the mouth is the most important thing in the world. You can't do nothing without that. Believe me. I could be there doing whatever I want and you wouldn't know what I'm doing. What's going on inside of you is everything. You have to put the tongue to the top of the mouth. If you're doing it right, and this is deep, when you get in your meditation, this is very deep. The tongue cleft of your mouth, them ripples will open up like a snake. They spread apart as you're traveling at the right, how could I say it? All right. You're going to meet ancestors, and as they come into your aura, and your tongue is at the top of your mouth, you feel it like if a snake is twirling. Respect, I usually do it all day. Yes, that's the reason you're doing that is for a particular reason. If you was to say you was going to move this pen, you would put your tongue to the top of your mouth and it will move. You got snake serpent powers. That's how you remove it. And when you do your meditation, the same, not just the top cliff, the ridges will open up and expand and spread. And you're actually, the top of here will widen like a church cathedral. The top of your head will feel like it's opening up too and moving forward, even moving backward the same way. As you travel with those, that's what you will feel. That's the sensation. And actually, you put your hand there, you'll feel it move forward. So that comes with the tongue, not just at the top of the cleft, which is the right way. I'm glad you brought that up because in those positions, those is the beginning one. The cleft at the top of the mouth and also pushing forward to your teeth. That is a thrust. You have to use focus to sense these things. Yes, very deep focus. And the focus is not a focus. It's a focus of not letting something into your mind. Free your mind. You don't want to go into the astral world pushing thoughts into it. Yo, I had this thing going on. Pow, you brought it into your reality. When you go into the astral world, purify your thoughts because you affect your life. Your life. By what you think. You can't go in there and I hate this person and go in there and do this. That's what you're gonna be a product of. Okay, and thrust forward with the teeth. Okay, yes, Latoria, that's how you fly your Merkaba. When you get in your Merkaba, you would thrust forward by pushing forward with your tongue. Pushing up will give you a variety of options because it's like palates on your tongue for the taste buds, salty. I think it's in the back. It's bugged out. You want to learn this? Get some food and watch yourself eat it. When it's a banana sweet, watch where your tongue is bugged out. It's like, take it and put it over here and seeing where we go. Oh, it's right there, sweet. Yeah. Then you get something salty and it'll be like, and put it over. Oh, it's right there. Yeah. So you can tell where every palate is in your mouth by putting certain sensations in your mouth. And you learn your tongue is a funny person. It's alive. It's real. It does its own thing, man. Believe it. And it's the magic behind everything you do. A lot of your sex appeal, a lot of the promiscuousness and persuasiveness in your conversation, your tongue have a lot to do with a magnetic field that actually interact with somebody else's tongue. And they make a lot of things happen for us. We're the snake people, the serpent people. The tongue is very real. In those meditations, when you're doing it, you will hear a hissing sound too. with it, not only does your head move, like I said, these parts you will feel. There is meditations. My question got lost. Run it back, LK. I'm sorry. How can I really deeply clear my mind? Michael, you asking that. It's a very deep question. The only when you can't clear your mind, when you should be able to by just sitting alone, you're not bored yet. You don't have enough still not to do. You have a lot still on your mind. Now, for you to clear that up, you need to go do them. That's simple. It's a lot of things that we didn't take care of that we were supposed to that stop us from ascending. It put burdens on our shoulders. A lot of things, when you go to meditate, you're going to see that it's going to stop you from actually meditating because you didn't do something you were supposed to do. You're not free. That way, can I hate this of myself? Then why can't I hate this of myself? Because hate is not in you. When you hate in something, you bringing that into yourself. Okay. Now that's the question. Look, then why can't I hate this for myself? Am I saying that right, Natasha Cummins? I don't want to get it wrong. Maybe it's from a continued question. That then why can't I hate this of myself? Okay. Now, like I said, hate is the topic right now because a lot of us know. All right, let me take it from scratch. For you to hate, you gotta be unconscious. Meaning, hate only arrived in somebody's macabre because of love, an unconscious love, love in the mundane, love that's conditional. You hate a person when they didn't meet the condition of your love. Yes, I missed a few questions, Raven. I'm definitely. How can we donate? Oh, I love that Black Hulk. You can donate at University of Conscious Science at PayPal.com. The same University of Conscious Science, but just put it at PayPal.com. And God bless you, Black Hulk. I love that, man. That's deep. Hey, I really appreciate it. It helps. Now, what we were saying is about this hate thing, right? And love because my family makes me think I'm crazy. Natasha Cummins, you're going through ascension. We have to talk personally. You need some private assistance, and I'm gonna get to you personal because I see and I can feel your energy. I know what's going on with you. Um, you're not crazy. You're a future healer. You're a future healer. Remember that. They don't understand you. And I need you not to think not negative, and I don't want you to think bad, but I want you to realize you have a different journey, you have a different way of seeing things, and that's nothing wrong with that. But don't allow yourself to fall into the dogma of this reality and a demon come in and put things in your head that's not real. It's just a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. They're not to blame because they're mundane, because they chose to chase their desires in life. It's okay. They're called the blameless. Thank you, Latoya. I love you. Thank you. I love the Purple Hearts. And yeah, my family just want me to go to church and be normal. Louis Aho Monzado Lino. No, it's tradition they're following. And I want you to understand this is why we have these type of talks now and we meet like this. Because it's not accepted in society until the government make them accept it because they go underneath the Republican Democratic system. I'm Republican. My kids is going to college, and they want to portray an image to society, so they groom you to meet the demands of the future labor generations. But there's no more labor generation. The government just ain't telling you yet till you know what I'm telling you for yourself. So by the time you're going to be ready and you graduate college for this generation, it's not going to be there. During advanced meditation, we can sensual white light right in the middle of the third eye. Within that light, you can sometimes see a ghost looking at you. Is that our ancestors? That ghost that you're seeing is yourself. LK, that's your mentor. Right now, you're not going to actually start seeing more spiritual help or assistance until you cleanse yourself. So when you start, you're going to see ghost images of yourself. They're still stuck inside of you, like your splits, your child, your teenage self. All of those you have to face first, because they're going to bring back certain parts of you, to bring back memories, to make you whole again. So um, that ghost, look at it as a fractal image. It's an image with sound and picture that has something to do with reference to your past, that has something to do with reference to your future, that has only reference to do with you. It's not what we think. Only reason we equate it to these ghosts, these spirits, these bad things, is because we only have definitions given to us by religion and our TV. So, but it's people like me who take these journeys, the shamans and mystics, that tell you the truth. It's the journey to God. It's the journey through the underworld up to heaven. Once you learn the path, you could do it upon death. So you body double out of your body, not facing the decomposing of the mineral kingdom. It's the mineral kingdom that holds that destroys your body. The ethereal energy that's flowing over you keep regenerating you. That's what we call, what do you see? Right, they are staring let me back this up. Latora Martin, right, they are startling, promote yoga and essential oil and Gnostic stuff, but it's small amounts. Yes. Let me see. You spoke about this thing called formation. What does it again? Michael Dowling. Yes, formation is actually your imagination. Formation, imagination is really the same thing. So when we talk in formation, it's actually now, I would say, don't do formation in the beginning. Formation is more advanced for when you finish the underworld, finish finding yourself. Right now, when you're going into meditation, you don't know what to expect. You don't know yourself. You don't know your true nature. So just allow things to flow. Allow it to pass you. That's all it's doing. It's leaving your inner self and expanding into your Merkaba, freeing you up and your consciousness so you could ascend. So if you want to learn formation now, this is using your imagination to will things into existence. Now, if you having trouble seeing ancestors, the ghost image, like she just said, she's a perfect example. That's perfect. You're doing it right. Go face that ghost image, and you're facing your demons, your true self, and starting your journey on to being a seer, a healer. If you're not seeing these and you want to force play it, formation is good for that. You could actually, like I said, imagine the triangle in your astral vision. Our astral vision is eyelids closed, but you're looking straight ahead in your darkness. And so you can use your imagination, if you can imagine, to help induce a state, to help to open up that portal, is to go into the ethereal world. But remember, you don't want to use too much imagination, because you don't know what to imagine. Your journey is unique to you. And so you have more of your dark shadow selves, your splits, your past, a whole bunch of your natures to go meet before you actually input on the magnetic field of the astral world what you want to see. And so I wouldn't just do that at first. But formation in itself, that's what it means, to contemplate something and will it into your thoughts, and then push it like a sonic blast into the astral world with your will, and it comes into this world. It's part of contemplation. Formation, contemplation is all part of the tetragrammaton, with the tetragrammaton being Yah-He Vah-He. Yah-He Vah-He is earth, air, fire, water, with it being a window. When you look inside your head, why do I see darkness when eyes are closed, and how do I crack open my third eye? Cliff McKinn, that's from you. All right, the reason why you're seeing darkness is because you actually are closing your eyes and your eyelids. You passed the point. You went back like down to where your skull bone is. When I said do the exercise, is close your eyelids, but look straight ahead in the darkness of your eyelids. This opens up the portal to the astral world. You know, next formation come into play. Meaning, if you see darkness, you don't know what darkness is. That's not darkness. That's infraredish, magentaish. Those is actual dark colors that you just can't see what's there yet, and you need to sun stare. By you sun staring, those world won't be so dark. Anyone who can't see anything right now is because you need sun and you need moonlight. That's what you see alchemists in the ancient pictures always have a sun and a moon with the dragon wrapped around it. You know, that's very symbolic to what I'm telling you to go do. So if you cannot see what we're seeing or the shapes or the ancestors, you need more sun inside of you, more light, more transmutation. Yes, Latoya, man. That's why I sun gaze. What is this about moonlight, though? All right, Cliff McKinnon, you need both. Sun is just the masculine side of yourself. You have a masculine and a feminine. This side is feminine, this side is masculine. So one induces you. You're set to evolve when you wake up to this information. This information was taken out of history from the Renaissance, and they call it the dark ages, but it was really the golden ages. Like, you do this, you will be back to the golden age. You will be immortal. So you have the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere that's governed by the two eyes of Horus or Set, or you want to say the two eyes of God. You could say it's one female and one male. So the moon will represent the feminine aspect of your brain, and that's your right side or your left side. I'm not going into it because I would have to configure myself right now. And one is the left side. And so the sun is the male side that send the energy of antimatter, and the moon antimatter, which give you the swirling of the eyes, which makes part of K and part of Chi elements, or what we would call phonons in the air, actually work to you to make an orb, a spinning orb. Once you can make the orb spin in the air, it opens up dimensions, portals. It's the same that you can't even close your eyes and the orb go away. It's still there. Okay, okay. Now, so the moonlight, though, I was saying, what is this about the moonlight, though? Right, that's Cliff McKinnon. So the moonlight, now you will have to take in a lot of moonlight. Just as much, the moon give you a silver overlay over your eyes. You have three colors by default in your eyes. Those three colors is the same colors that's in your TV screen: green, blue, and red. You know, we get our billions and millions of colors from there. But you're missing gold, silver, and magenta. Star, sun, and moon. You need those overlays in your eyes to see in the astral world with your physical eyes. So the ancestors or the alchemists left that information for us. Like a spiraling circle of movement. Yes, Natasha, coming. That's it. You get the spiraling. Once you get the spiraling, you got antimatter that disrupts this air. And once you do that, you making orbs. You follow this now, it would be like a little twirling. This is what we call the serpent, the snake, that it gets bigger as it comes closer to you. You understand? Yes, Cliff McKinnon. This is alchemy. That's what it is. This is not in books, and only somebody who could go through it could really say it. Doesn't matter when you look at the sun, or you can do it anytime. And how long should you moon gaze? That's deep. You got the info in a chokehold. You got FB. Yes, I rock FB. It's Damian Samuels, DameanSamuel. Yeah, and definitely, you need the sun as much as you need the moon. They're both one. Now, I understand. Now, I want you to understand silver, gold, magenta, star, sun, and moon to see the astral world for listeners. It will spiral you. Yes, Latoria, you got it. Now, all of those is going to help you, and it's going to also awaken you. Remember, with all this awakening going on, you have to live a normal life. This is the Aquarian age. It's not like before where you can live a hermetic life and do this. That's what Hatha Yoga will try to imply that, and it's very true. You have to be isolated. Your eyes is going to be a lot blurry. I had my uncle, salute from DC, Black Hulk 1. Yo, God bless you, my brother. You know, it's all in motion. Yes, Natasha. I had my uncle who can't see. And I just want you to know, everybody, that you're actually nothing in life is by mistake with God. He don't make no mistake. For you to go blind, it's not going blind. You're able to see star systems now and how our ancestors, like the Dogon, was able to map everything out. So you have that on purpose for a reason. So far seeing and near seeing give you the ability to see spirits. You understand? So you don't want to be so fine-tuned. Our fine-tuning is for industrial reasons, to look and drive, to read. Those things you don't need, but you see energy, you sense vibrations, and you look into stars and you see. These fix your genetics. It actually, light was our first form of healing. So these is what you're going back to, and what you, yes, going back to that, you actually start putting back all the chromosomes that you're losing eating bad food. Our cells is dying from the food we're eating. Light and magnetics rejuvenates them. So by you not getting light and magnetics, just walking into your car and coming in your house renders you dead. You're going to die soon. Only way you're going to live is by going out and knowing that sun is your vitamin. It's your source for the ancestors. It's the source for everything. That's why we're called children of the sun. And you don't have to be only in the sun. You could do it with lights. You know, somebody asked that question. Lights does give you the same effect. You know, we're light beings. And so by you doing this, it opens up your mentor. That don't mean you're going to do the same things I do or what your friend do. You have your own destiny, which is your higher self. With you, you have 50,000 different versions of you. I'm giving you a low number. You know, scientifically, it's at, there's how many versions of yourself? It's actually 70,000. It's how many cells. So you have enough work to do to actually not only meet all your oversouls in a different part of you, because around every cell there's neuromelanin. Neuromelanin is a part of your soul. And so the whole body that makes up the soul is also broken down into little parts in your neuromelanin, all in every cell. And so every cell have a soul part to it that you have to learn and bring it back into one integration. That's the journey you're taking when you get initiated into initiation. That's where you hear Rudolf Steiner talk about initiation. Everybody talk about initiation first for you to be what's called the genius. The genius is letting out those cells now, making them E4. If you want to know more about the different stages of the atom, you could read Occult Chemistry by C.L. Leadbeater. He'll teach you occult chemistry that one atom or hydrogen, whatever, has 4 forms to it, or you could Google it. And with the E4 being the highest form, which is an Anu atom, which now is you in full transformation or transmutation. And so that's what you're here to do now and learn through the sun, moon, and star. They're going to be your teachers, and they're going to be your mentors and introduce you to the higher beings, Michael, or the angelic side of you, and start your journey back. Once you get acquainted with it, the occult knowledge will be easy for you to understand. And a lot of movies, everything will make sense. You see all the synchronicity in it because that's the journey. Okay, so that really give us a great understanding of what's going on. Using astral remote view for malicious purpose, consequences? Yes, Black Hulk. Definitely consequences. Now, I'm going to tell you the consequences. Simple. Latoya, I'm going to get to your question in a minute. But let's get to Black Hulk question is using astral and remote viewing for malicious purposes, consequences. Okay, let me tell you. When you do astral, in a sense that you're not traveling over something, flying over some horizon or over some meadow, you in somebody's macabre. What are you doing in somebody's macabre? So I can go moon gaze after this live. How long? Yes, as long as you want to. It's magnetics. Usually, this let me tell you, it's best to do it right before you go to sleep too, because if you stargaze, and this is a fact, this is a fact. You're an empath and you're sensitive. If you stargaze and you moon gaze, then go to sleep. The moon beings and the star beings, if you recognize any of them, will come and pay you a visit. That's who's going to come. Everything you do when you go to sleep, this is about the night side of the tree. When you go to sleep, you actually go on a journey of learning with the dark beings, with the harder, with the niggas. You go with the guys. The guys is like the niggas, the hood niggas. They give you lessons. You don't learn lessons in the day side. That's for healing. That's not to be to be so nice and comfortable. But your inner self, your true nature, has to be purified. And so that's why at 7 o'clock you have the underworld start. People socialize and date. People bring mad karma onto themselves. It's another you come alive. So at night you go to sleep. You deal with the night side of the tree. You deal with scary stuff, real decisions you have to make. Those is the beings that is the chaos gods that actually make you who you are. That next day when you wake up, you're a good person. You want good things. That's the night side of the tree that create that for you. Yes, that was in the movie OA. She was blind, but she could see in the astral and star system. OMG, yo, that's real. Yes. Can also this can also see this in the camera, correct? Yes. Most of everything you can see, if you want to see the astral and every being in it, use a camera. This is look at it as the basic thing. Like I said, if you take your remote control and you look through your camera at your remote control, you will see your remote control light cut off and on. So when you try to look at it with your eyes, you don't see the light. So your camera see more than you see. Yeah, your camera could see more in this room. And if they was to take off the infrared inhibitor that they put on cameras, we will see so much more. Yes, Daniel Konazi. Go on through, fly through the moon, man. Go and make friends with the moon. Charles Ledbaker, Coke Chemistry. Yes, Latoya Martin. Yes, they'll give it to you. Thank you, Cliff McCann. Blessings, my brother. Um, Latoya, we will see auras and everything back. Yes, that's what we see. And that's what I want you to understand. With this journey that you're taking now, you're going to be able to sense auras more, and you're going to be able to sense the energy of a person in a deeper sense. And I mean, the person is going to deny it most of the time. What you're bringing to them is their true nature, and nobody wants to hear their true nature, and nobody's going to say their true nature. So when you bring this to them, they're going to feel it's a reading, like you're reading them. How you know these things? But you have the ability to pick it up. Keep meditating. Every one of you is unique with this experience. So everybody has a separate gift as written in the Bible. The spiritual gifts. And as y'all now as being souls, don't see yourself as the flesh having any insecurities, anything prohibiting you or stopping you from doing anything you want. You're a soul. You could do anything you want. And through the astral, you could manifest it into reality. So with an attitude and the right will now, you are on the right path to separating your physical body matter that goes on the journey to set and your soul that goes on the journey back to the higher worlds. And now you're on the path with God. Once you align yourself with the path, the Holy Spirit come down and your protection is on. You're being protected. You're being watched. You're being helped. You understand? Excuse me. All through this form of meditation started all off. And if I was to give you the statistics on meditation, it's better than any medicine. It actually rejuvenates you when you get younger. You become smarter. The genius is born through actually meditation. Yes. So it's very important for you to know to go outside. Let me see if I missed anything. What is the moon? Cliff McCann. Is there any astral significance at sunset and shutdown? AC, what's going on, AC? How you doing? Yes, there is definitely spiritual significance in sunset. Ooh, it's a scary one too. Dust to Dawn. You see the movie Dust to Dawn? That should answer the question right there. In Dust to Dawn, when they lock the doors and everybody transform, that's sunset. That's what we are. That's a psychological movie to show what we become. You're not the same person before the sunset. You at work, taking orders. You at home playing this role as your mother, father. That's just a quote. And then come 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, as soon as darkness come, we turn into these freaks. We turn into these emotional vampires. We turn into all these other things. We turn into heroes. So those all is our different splits. You were two people. So once you're conscious of this, you will start fixing yourself. I was meditating, laying down under the pyramid, and came aware with this loud, high-pitched sound in both ears. Tried getting up, weighed like 1,000 pounds, hard to move, felt heavy. All right, Cliff McKeon, the reason why you're getting these high-pitched sounds in your ears and you can't move, they're trying to unlock you. Was this the astral or etheric body? What is the difference? The astral and the etheric body, and let me tell you that, first of all, that ringing in the ears, you being stuck, is actually you getting an upgrade in your body. When you're going into the astral world, you're not just going into a form of another world. You're actually building your Merkaba. You're remembering something that you used to do. And so by you building your Merkaba, you're gonna go through these sensations of like connecting back your neurons. It hurts. When you actually opening up chakras, nadis, it's you pushing energy through sealed, you're locked. The seven seal. Why you say the seven seal? It's sealed. It's gonna feel like pressure. That's why the Egyptians have the two balls in their hands on their knees. The pressure, they busting through their veins, everything, letting that get through. So that's what you will feel, and that's normal. When you do it once, you don't feel it twice. You're only gonna feel it the first time. It's gonna be uncomfortable to you. Is meditation using your breath? Yes. You're in the beginning to enter it, but eventually you don't use your breath. You don't focus on breathing no more. I hear a lot about 3 a.m. night as being the magic hour. Why is that? AC, yes, that's true. 3 a.m. is when we're set to get a visit from all the beings. They come and steal all of our energies and give us upgrades. They call that the witching hour, the God hour. It's the same. It's like those times intuitively or instinctively, we would have been up doing a certain ritual. Your penis would have been hard. Most women would have been horny. Those times is when people give back to the ancestors, the people that made us. So that's hours, and till 4 o'clock is those hours. If we was not having sex and just living like we was in incubators, do you know the whole world at that 4 o'clock hour when the magnetic field come and the roosters are on cock-a-doodle-doo, everybody's horny, you getting stiffies, and the whole world would just be like the phallus symbol sticking up, and they come and they take that energy and they take a genetic thing off of your penis. They do that every night. That's if you're doing the rituals right, if you're doing everything right, and you giving them your fluids. That's why your fluids are sacred and they're supposed to be spilled. It's safe for them to put back into the genetic code. Now you get visits from different spirits. Some of us is demons. Some of us is angels. Some of us is dragons. Some of us is dark angels. A lot of us is different things doing different works of God in different parts, and we don't know who we are. We're just the anchor trying to catch up to ourselves, our spiritual self. And so you will learn when you go in there and you get these 3 o'clocks. Some people get inspiration to write songs. Some of the greatest artists wrote their hits at 3 o'clocks and these witching hours that we consider. Some people do their rituals and their magic at these hours. You understand? Some people actually astral project better and finally get out their body at those hours easier. Okay. Is there a recommended meditation to break through the astral? I've been trying with no success for a year. All is mine. Yes, there. I would recommend your breathing. The breathing. I meditate using pranic breathing. I use the physical changes for the work, and even concepts and information is coming to me, but I'm not able to travel. All right. Well, this is the when you're going to meditate. I have a lot of people who have that problem, and I find out that they're trying too hard not to meditate or to meditate. That's what the problem is. They're trying too hard. You're expecting something, and when you're expecting something, you're not going to be able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And so, the first thing you got to do, meditation first starts off by contemplation. How? All right, how you can go about this. Say you're going to plan on meditating. It's not something we could all do quick meditation. I'll give you a quick example of meditation. You wanted to learn something more about anything, the cosmos, by you thinking about it. You know, these is what we call contemplation and formation. By you thinking about it, you actually bring yourself closer to it. You learn more information about it through closing your eyes, imagining it in your head, and you'll have more information. You will see it closer and know something more about it than you did. That would be your average novice way of meditating. Most people will just close their eyes, see darkness, and feel like not having nothing in them is meditating. But the proper way, when we talk in Hermetic meditation, when you heard Hermes went into meditation and saw Pymander, the dragon, that's how you meditate. You going someplace. The dragon is a portal. It's a gateway to your inner subconscious mind, the subconscious mind of the Akashic records. The Akashic records is not just the subconscious of your mind, it's the subconscious of the collective consciousness of everybody. So the dragon is the gateway to that. So if we are gonna meditate, that would be the right way to get to your own subconscious. So you want to push a little hard to get there without hurting yourself. You know, this is what we get into Solomon and the canister and all the demons that's buried. It has a significance of your subconscious mind being in conflict with your conscious mind. One is subjective and one is objective. The subjective mind is going to dominate the objective mind. And the objective mind is your conscious mind that makes your reality, because you object to what you want to see and only see what you want. But the subjective mind is already hearing and been hearing and know the higher stuff. So it's going to subject you to see what it wants you to see for you to learn. So now, how do you get the dragon to come up? You want to see the dragon. You have to have some type of visual identity to know what you're looking for. It's not, you could be seeing a dragon and don't know. I didn't know for a long time. I thought it was a cave, like Plato. I thought I was in a cave. And I said, shit, I'm in the face of a dragon. It's the eyes of a dragon. And I realized, oh my God, it's a dragon. And when it did, things changed. Perception changed everything. When you could handle it, it's your consciousness is not going to show you something that you can't handle. No way. It'll blank it out. It'll take it away and it won't come back again. This is a delicate journey you're on, because once your mind rock out a frequency like a radio station, and you can't bring it back. And it happens. You see, you flash your head and it's gone. It's not there. You scratch your eyes, it's gone. Your mind took it out. Frequency gone. So what you will want to do is subtly ease your way in. Your mind through Hatha Yoga and through Panjaliya Yoga. Panjaliya, prepare yourself for your mind to see this. This is what the Teo book, the book of Teo is about too. Teoism is the same thing, preparing yourself. How to interpret what we see during astral projection, like going to Mars and seeing beings there. Well, that now, let me finish real quick with just astral projection and as meditating, how to actually now start seeing it. Well, all is mind. When now you relax yourself, like we saying, you want to see the dragon, you looking with your eyelids closing, you're looking straight ahead into your darkness. You know, if you've been getting sunlight, sunlight is the key, and moonlight. it's like you're gonna see sparkles or you're gonna see something. Those that is watching, if you sun stare already, I want you to do this exercise. Everybody should be able to do this. If you squint just a little, you should be able to pull up a circle. It should be like a clearish, bluish circle. By just squinting a little, you get a circle. If you could see that, you're on your way. You had to stare enough that you get this overlay in your eyes. When you just squint a little, a circle comes. So that's important. So, all is mine. You have to get yourself some more sunlight. Sun stare more. Moon stare more. Once you get that, it's there. You see that. Now, say you feel that you've done a lot of sun staring and you still haven't accomplished it. Cliff McKeon, you said I be seeing that. Yes. So that's what you want. You want to see that little lens, the little circle when you squint a little from sun staring. You can even do it now. Just look at a light bulb. If you stare at a light bulb and then look away, you should see the light bulb for a few seconds. If you close your eyes, stare at the light bulb, then close your eyes, you could travel through the light bulb. The light bulb will be artificial light to light up your insides to get you started on the journey. You get a bright enough light source instead. That's what you travel through. You absorb the light as you go through. It takes you and push it into your darkness till it's no more light. Keep feeding yourself. Keep going. And then you will see yourself into your subconscious, into the underworld. The Book of Tao. Read the Book of Tao. It teaches you to lose your pride, your ego, and you're not you. And prepare you. It teaches you about the spirits. So you will want that. Cliff McKeon, true, I be seeing that, yeah. So that's the key to it. What's that about? Well, that's, Cliff, I don't want to give too much information because I got secrets and some books and all that I'm putting together. Plus, I do private one-on-one. If you want to learn this one-on-one, we could sit down and I could take you as a, do guru yoga. We go through it and you just follow and we could get it going. Pretty much. I'll leave it at that, but that you need the orb. You need to see that little lens flare, and I could tell you what to do from there. It's unique, the journey, but it's the same for everybody. But I need for you to tell me, and I could tell you what to do next. I can't tell you what to do, if you understand where I'm going. All right, so what's that about? If I haven't seen one of the numbers like 222 or 111, can I still contemplate them? Michael Dillon. Well, contemplation and the numbers is a synchronicity of powers. So when you contemplate, you're supposed to already have your contemplation put together. The numbers coming up as in the sequence of 111, 2 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 3. You would equate that to actually your will to push something forward now into the matrix, into the astral world that you want to come into it. Is those numbers are signs of confirmation, or confirmation number to actually push to go forward with whatever you're going to do. So, when you seeing the 111s and 222, contemplation was supposed to have been pre-thought of, And I do believe if you was contemplating at the time of the numbers, that is a reading to tell you what to do next. If say you was contemplating to go to see about this job interview and you looked up, you saw 222, that means go do it. You're going to get it. All right. Should I only sun stare when it's going down? Aaron, I would catch it at 3:30 to 4 going down hours. And in the morning from it first rises to about 8 o'clock is good hours for psychic abilities. It gives a psychic pulse. You should see it as a pulse, and you should see the bezel of it turning. And if you see it turning, you can't actually focus on it. It's like try to look at my finger. If you look at it here, it's going to jump over here. The more you look at it, the more it's going to jump. So you want to get it so it's spiraling. Get it to where it's spiraling faster and faster and faster, and you make your pupil dilate. Oh my God. All of these, it's a very good significance because after the sun purifies you after around 3 months, I say, of sun staring, it actually gives you superpowers and actually start giving you all your thalamus glands ability, connecting back your neurons so you could be the higher being that you was. All right, now, should I only sun stare when it's going down? Oh, I already did that. Thank you, Lord Enki. I'm not moon staring at all. I would work with it. Thank you so much. All is mine. Yes, definitely do it. It's not something you have to do permanently just to acquire the silver of the moon. The moon is still dreamy and dangerous, and it's not always good to be in love with it. Just use it as a tool. All of them is tools for you to ascend. It's not for you to worship them. Our ancestors never did worship them. And those is the peoples that wrote history actually put in that we worship them. There was always tools, and I'm pretty sure they use it behind our backs as tools. So you see them more as tools than worshiping them. Okay, should we refrain from sex? What happens when you get in with a shorty? Get it in with a shorty. Cliff McCann, now, it depends. Now, sex should be abstained from, period, and when you're trying to ascend. And now I'm gonna teach you about what human beings are. You don't know who is who just because they look human and they seem human. Remember, it's their nature that makes us engage in relationships and don't stay in them. It's like you see animals don't get married and cohabitate together. And we have a nature that our jealousy, our pride, put us in conditional relationship, meaning I love you with conditions. As long as you only fuck with me, I fuck with you, which stops that person's growth and that person's destiny. You take them off their destiny and it's capturing them into servitude where you just, they be their servant for you. And both of y'all now go work for the beast to be a servant for each other. You know, so that's one part of it. But now, when you're talking sex, it's a calling. We're going to go on sex now. Let's talk about it in magic form because we talking white lighter stuff. And when we talking sex, you're talking Kundalini and Tantra. And it's the source of everything. That's where we came from. God, sex. That's how everything came into existence. The womb. It's everything. You know? It's when he assumes his mother, the woman, um, aspect of himself. So, you know, he is man, woman, but it's a it. So we both could be comfortable here, not saying it's him or it's her. But in this state now, when we're talking sex, Kundalini comes into this. And everything is sexual. When you get to with God and you feel his energy, it's sexual. It's a sexual energy. They said when you come, your climax is close to what you're feeling with God. So how could something so divine be so wrong? And how could abstaining be wrong? Well, this is where it gets tricky. So I don't want to get too, you know, I don't know how to say it, but I don't want to throw y'all off and make it go. I don't want to glamorize nothing here. So let's take it from scratch. Originally, everybody didn't see sex like how we see it today, where we use it to capture somebody. Sex was more therapeutic. It was only in temples. You had to come to the temples with the temple prostitutes, and it was mostly for warriors and people who went to war, and they was used for therapeutic reasons. Temple prostitutes had sex with ancestors, with the ancient ones, with the spirits. A lot of y'all now who's doing these meditations, yes, that's the Torah, is going to experience astral sex with entities. When you're doing these meditations, it's who you are. If you sexually, you have to release yourself. Yes, you have to have astral sex with these entities. Let me tell you why. Your first lover was yourself. That was your secret lover. You played with yourself. And so when you did that, you had a thought of somebody in your head. And that thought of somebody is your secret lover. That image is who you mimic when you search on somebody in relationships psychologically. That's who you see when you see that love of your life. It's not them you see that secret lover that you first masturbated on. That who you is a God. It's the God in yourself. And so it manifests as one is the astral forms that you haven't coming out as yourself. So now, as we mature, we repress ourselves like the animals. Yes, Babylos, etc. That's a fact. It's the animal, and it has to be tamed. But you have to make first known the animal before you can tame it. So that's where sexual magic, tantra come in, and not tantra. We're gonna say tantrika because tantra is something else. So the average way that it was done by the ancestors for magical reason. Now this is just for educational purposes. Don't go and do this, please. But they get the woman. Say the woman now needed money. She's in financial situation. So he will come and take her to his house, blindfold her, and make a circle. She lay inside that circle, and then they perform a sex. They have sex together. But she says she give herself to this God as she climax. They just, clean themselves up, and she go about her life. From then on, she gets money. All of her things get taken care of. Money just start coming in. For him, he ascended up to wizard or a god. The feminine principle came on to him. He was now the initiator as a wizard, made her a witch. So she's a witch. That's how it works. All right? Any man that's his god, he got his god ability from a woman. And she didn't know she gave it to him. His feminine aspect came from her. She gave it to him through sex. So now you can have an alpha male. That's why she desires the alpha male. She created the alpha male. You can have an alpha male and 100 women, and all of them will wait for that one alpha male. He possessed that certain energy. He's the wizard. You understand? And they would rather wait for the wizard before they wait for the lane. It's in many pictures. You see the Indian picture with the man in the tent. He's having one woman over there, 3 women's waiting, but it's a whole bunch of men just over there cleaning, raking up the yard. Ain't got nothing to do with it because they don't want it. They want that eternal energy. That's the mother. So when you understand that part now, you understand there is sexual magic. Now, sex itself, should you abstain or should you not do it right now? Right now, it's a testing point for you. You should abstain, yes, to a certain degree. You don't go around where you hump in the bed and you got pre-ejaculated coming all over the place. Because at this point, as if you're young, under 30 years old, you're going through a alchemy. So you will retain yourself for 90 days. Then start engaging in what we call tantra. Tantra will give you powers, magnetic powers. How? By not coming, by not spilling your cum. You make her come. Actually, climaxing is when the woman comes. You come with her. You only ascend when the woman climax and you join her. Your job is to wait for her to have her climax. You can't come early. Your pre-coming is you killed yourself. But you get power from her if you climax with her. But you don't ejaculate your nut. You're just going to have a pulse. You're sending a wave. That's it. And she feels it inside of her, making her go crazy. That way you retain your power. You get her power and you give her power. She's energized. She's ascended. The other way, you kill yourself. And her nut and her true climax retain in her menstruum, and she give it to the gods. When she menstruate, all her energy goes out through there. She don't never do it anyway. Manifesting magic, yes, Dana Voodoo Creole. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's how it's done. Y'all let me get into it. Y'all want to get into the night side of the tree? We can talk some night side stuff now, because well, we talking about the sex. Let's do that for a quick minute. Imagination. The moon. Why was it banned? What happened? Well, back in the days, they found out that anybody could take a thought, an image, take that person passionately, and masturbate to them, and it affects that person. They'll feel it. They'll fall in love with them. That's love, the first love spells. So it's the energy, the sexual energy directed towards a target that actually goes through the moon that influences that person. Orgasm is orgone energy, most powerful potent energy on the planet. That's right, Dana Voodoo Creole. That's right. And so we use it in promiscuous ways to actually send the energy without touching ourselves. That's your basic person that's, throwing their little promiscuous ways to get little deals here, get their way here, get in a club for free. It's the same energy you project. Like if you actually having sex, you have influence over people. That's what we call, excuse me, um, telekinesis, the ability to put something in somebody else, or psychokinesis. So you could do that if you know how to harness the sexual energy the same way you would masturbate thinking about somebody doing it. But now just put it into just persuasiveness and the energies in your promiscuousness. And you could just manifest it with your thought and you get the same results. Yes, Diane Voodoo Creole. That's right. And so this now is the feminine energy. The feminine energy everybody's chasing. That's called the Philosopher's Stone. Are you going to be on tomorrow? Yes, Michael Deline. I'll be here tomorrow, definitely. Definitely. I'm trying to make this an everyday thing. It's so much knowledge to learn. We have to expand. Thank you, Dana Voodoo Creole. You know, and the ramifications of doing those magical acts that I just told you is incredible. I done seen it, where spirits come and I'm there laying there sleeping, and I have videos. This is the most incredible thing you hear. Sleeping, maybe 2 in the morning, and something is actually making my penis just like something, and I said, what the hell? And I'm half asleep, so I take my camera, and it's dark now, and I just start recording, and this is me recording half asleep, and I just drop the camera and go back to sleep. The next day I played a video, and it's something with a dead penis, got it going. I swear to God. And I'm like, you think I'm kidding? I got the video. And this is what, yeah, the Lagos Cabra is where people do these things. It's people do it. I asked the person I found, I said, was you? He said, yeah, what are you on? I'm like, really? Wow, I didn't even know it could be accomplished. So I was like, please don't do that again. I got it. You can do that, yes. So it's possible, yes. Very possible. Especially if both people are empaths. Empaths can sense all of that stuff. And everybody is an empath. When you meditate, you get that back. You get back you get the bad mind. Somebody even bad mind you thinking about you in a bad way. You get that. You feel it. Exactly. That's right, now. So all of this now is your true powers. You have to take off all the extra sin. Yes, you can see it. That's the seer. Yo, you're a very powerful person, Dana. If you can see it, because you can. That's thought forms. I feel like a virgin hearing this. Daniel Komani. Yeah, it's very real. So now, save your sex. I'm gonna tell you some truth though, on especially the young. Yes, I took my power back. Yes. Oh, Dana, I know what you are and what you could do. You taking your power back. You got some abilities. You know what you're doing then. So, welcome, ancestor. You know, yes, you can take your power back very easy, and you do. I call all the power back every time. That's right. You never give your power away. You understand? Power is a mutual exchange of energy. You understand? Always remember that if the exchange wasn't mutual, one of y'all took an energy loss. Sometimes your mate is wearing you like, ha ha ha, lee, thank you, fool, and you look stupid. You had gifts, abilities. Your macabre has been infiltrated. You ain't in it. It happens, man. You got people who, vampires, yes, they They're out here. You got so many vampires out here. It's a new generation of the dead that they can't survive unless they have taken somebody vampire. I mean, somebody's macabre. And they're not what we call vampires. Remember, the actual word was beast. A vampire is the beast itself. They suck the energy from that person. When you get, you're not from God. You cut off from etherical energy. No etherical energy come. You can't get nothing. So what happened is you have to get energy and harness it a different way. So what you have to do is get the life force is the etherical energy. The life force is in the blood. So they always personified it as vampire biting neck, taking the blood, drinking the blood. But in real life, it's psychically done. The life force is stricken out of you through your blood by them attaching themselves to your macabre. And that's the beast. He steals your life force. So once he attaches this to an unconscious, dead or soulless one and take their life force, if they don't go feed off of somebody else, they're going to die. So it's now a chain reaction going on where a person comes steal your energy, cuts you off from God, and you don't have no more etherical energy coming, and you have to go feed off of somebody else. Yes, they steal and kill and destroy. Now, how does this work? I'm going to tell you how. You have your same balls. I'm calling balls, women and men. Yes, both of y'all got them. For your woman, it's the ovaries, the 2 eggs. Men, it's your balls. Ida, Pingala, Odu, and Obudua. That's what they are. And they swirl that energy, the same energy that's swirling your eyes. And what happens is that ethereal energy, when it gets to your belly button, it turns to chi energy. Chi energy is what sustain your organs. At this point where it gets to your organs, it becomes prana. Prana is what you live off of, the breath. That goes to the head now. Now, when you have too much sex or burn out your sexual wick, you don't have no more ethereal energy coming up to your organs to feed yourself. How do your chi energy work? The life force. Yeah, you get cut off from the life force. So what happens when you listen to me? When you look at something, it takes organ energy. So how you replace the organ energy? With the sexual energy or the life force. So if you sexually promiscuous and fuck it all out, you don't have that energy no more. So when you used up your organ energy, how you replace it? You become an energy vampire. You suck it off of somebody else. That's simple. See how simple that was? It's not hard to decipher. So now you got all these people who was sexually promiscuous at young, or over promiscuous, or is attached to the beast, meaning they don't have equal energy. There's people like that, low resonating people. You feel it. It's just a negative feeling that come around. These people attach themselves to you. They become what I call your sitcom ass people. They come every day in your house. Come every day on your phone, always on your text, every day, like a sitcom. Cause they not gonna go to the sun for energy. They not. The sun is their enemy. They're moon people. They're moon people, imaginative. They love imagining. They love saying something is out to get them. Everything is negative. Those are the moon beings. The beast is governed. Is still under the moon. It's governed under the moon. That does reincarnations. Every time you try to die and you don't learn this information and because body double and be a mystic, the moon grabs you and sucks you back down and you reincarnate. It's set. So you got to realize because they are not going to go, yes, the sitcom people, those is them. So we fall into a sitcom life and not knowing that when you interact with a person, you exchange atomic elements, you electrons and neurons, DNA is being exchanged. Some people know unconsciously how vampires are born. Vampires don't know they're vampires. Vampires are instinctive people. You're welcome. So when you see vampires, They actually are just a normal human being that don't know that they have an astral body, and their astral body is attacking you. While you're there talking, it's attacking you, penetrating your macabre, getting in there. And then from there, they feed, they siphon it spiritually. You could be over here and they're over there. They lay in their bed and do some move, and you sucked out. All your energy sucked out. You need some protein. You're like, what the hell? The Truman Show. Yeah. Yo, that's what's going on. So these now becomes, once they become conscious that they're energy vampires, you can help them because some people will stop it and then go to the sun. But some people revere the sun. The thing with energy vampires, a lot of them, if you tell them they're energy vampires, they're gonna turn on you. It's a soul that they can't control. It just know how to survive. It's an animal. And so it attaches to unsuspecting souls, unsuspecting people. And so if you don't know yourself, you could be feeling down today. You could be feeling up. This is why you have to know thyself. How would you know that an energy vampire is attached to you if you don't know what you're supposed to be feeling? Most of them are soulless. Yes, all of them are soulless and is the opposites. They feed off of you. They probably married to you, and you don't know. You're in a bad negative relationship. It's toxic, radioactive. A lot of people is in these relationships. Opposites attract. Remember, if you're a soul being and you're attracted and it's opposite, it's going to be to a soulless. So you got a lot of this. That's when making these hybrids generation, these hybrid kids, white and black thing. All of this is what's going on. And so now you get an understanding of what vampires is, which is really the beast. And it's a young one that is unconscious of what they're doing, and they're attaching to your life force, draining it. That's what it is. And sometimes by leaving them out your life, cutting them off and letting them slowly fade out, you slowly get rid of that energy thing. Outsmarting them, getting them out of your circle. That's how you get rid of energy vampires. But fighting with them, you can't fight with them because it's a spiritual thing. They're just going to lock on more to you spiritually if you fight with them. You have to ease a way out. Oh, it's okay, I'm good. Oh, I got something to do now. I can't. Yo, I'll see you later. Yo, peace. Get out of it, just like that. You keep a good rapport with them, they confused, and they don't attack you spiritually. That's how you get out of it. I got stuck in it plenty of times, and I had to learn. It makes my heart beat fast. Oh my God. You be with them 15 minutes, and it felt like you spent the whole day being here, and your mother cursing you out, and you're like, oh, I'm going to die. And you just want to lay down. And it make you can't think, you can't focus, you can't get what you need done. Yes, you can feel it. It's very powerful. If you got a good macabre or magnetic field, you feel like this. It just starts, when they come around, it's like this, woo-woo now, woo-woo. Woo woo. You just feel this now. Woo woo. You know, start taking off a lot of your burdens. Feel again, man. Sensitive to feelings. Take away everything. Don't listen to music. No TV. Then you become sensitive again to energies. Yes, and anxiety. Definitely. Oh my God. Anxiety is the first thing you're going to get. You sense that before they even come. Your anxiety level go up. Yes, Chris Anderson, my man, Shaman, love you, my brother. Peace and blessings. Your anxiety go up. Once your anxiety go up, that's the trigger to let you know to bounce, to get out of there. And from there, you know, everything else go downhill for you. They bring the beast into your macabre. When the beast lock into your macabre, now he feeds off of you. That's why you got to get it out. There's only death when a vampire come around. I mean, really death. Faster. Straight up. It's a one-way road. It's a one-way road. That attachment, yeah, you cannot allow a vampire to attach to you. Your life force is your whole life. And once they feed off of you, they bring the beast to continue feeding. And if you're not conscious of it, he'll come in your dreams of somebody and lock on in there. And it's in you now, and eventually you have to go feed on somebody else. Life here and the next. Yes. Once you learn to overcome these and you spot them, you learn in demonology and how people work. You can help other people and take out all these people to separate from them. One thing I know, Pisces, the sign Pisces, vampires hate Pisces. Anybody Pisces they don't like. You understand? Libras too. I think it's Libras the other sign. The other signs, they're attached to them. They're very attached to those signs. Man. You gotta be careful with them. Excuse me. All right, so this is us remembering about the ancient ones and getting back to our true self or who we are, remembering. And these will help you. And the meditations will help you. These, we're going to keep having these lectures and understanding to make us be able to know what we're experiencing and how to make sense of it. How do you get them off you? You just have to avoid them. Don't, you know, us from the hood, we're back, the great 101s. Yes, definitely Dan Vuhu. Christopher, the best way to get them off of you is just to avoid them, to give them an excuse, and eventually cut them off for different reason other than letting them know that they're energy vampires or succubuses. Because they have to feed. And them coming around you, oh homeboy, and you and all that stuff is an excuse for their feeding. You understand? Yes, become a hermit. It's only one path to God. I want to hit the new generation with that. That's how I live. I get the knowledge. I'm being young again. We waste energy. People suck our energy and they suck your life force. Your the neurons and the DNA that you need to replicate. They take that from you. So you can't purify and replicate yourself. So you got to be careful of that. And once they lock onto you, they know how to just take everything from you. So with the beast coming in, it's a whole doctrine to that. And that's where we having a war between the children of men, which is the beast, and the children of God, the ancient ones. And this is why you have to get the ancient knowledge so you won't mingle too much with the beast and get caught up. You understand? You have to hermit yourself again and get your powers. Hermit in yourself meaning alchemy. Alchemy in the purest sense just means you take a bunch of trees and you put them together. They're all going to grow at the same pace, very slow. But if you take one tree and isolate it, nature's going to speed this tree up faster than these trees. That's the group. Separate yourself from the group and you grow faster. Evolve faster. Getting the ancient knowledge repairs the DNA. This is it. Right now, we're exchanging DNA. This is what you need. Somebody who's gonna give you help. And indeed it does, yes. You feel it. You feel the resonance. We end the field, the morphogenic field right here. And so everybody is one. You're getting energy passing back and forth between each other. And don't think this is pseudo because I do most of my Reiki healing over the internet. Really, straight up. I learned my abilities through the internet. I could even make people's legs bounce and be like, boop, boop, boop. Just go like that for no reason. Keep playing with it, y'all. Y'all gonna get it. Trust me. You know? And concentration is the key to your power. Concentration. When I say concentration, right? Concentration is the simplest thing. Because you know what we think concentrating is? Think about it. What is concentration? It's nothing. You don't know what concentration is. Concentration is focusing on a dot. That's concentration. That's all you gotta do. You could be singing a song focusing on a dot. You could multitask and focus on it. It's the fact you're concentrating that gives you power. You can hold it. Your will. So when you're going to concentrate, it would be the same as taking anything. Say, this was the dot. Don't move it. Don't blink. Don't breathe. That's willpower. That's concentration. That's it. So, you would actually find a dot. You see that dot? And concentrate on it. Don't stop staring at it. That's how you acquire power. A lot of the ancients used to have the kids just staring at apples. This would make their mind focus on what they're doing, their goals. But this for us in magic, this is how you get your true power, by concentrating. And you concentrate on the dot. The black dot you will see later. It's there in your astral, the black dot. It's your macabre driver's thing. If you can't drive your macabre, you can't do nothing. And you need concentration to drive it. You can't get in your macabre and look at everything. You're driving it. Is focus the same as concentration? No. You could concentrate and still have peripheral view. That's how concentration works. Concentration is me. I'm looking at the dot right now, and I can still talk to you and stare at it. It's synonymous. That's right. So concentration is not the focusing. The focusing is what you want to get rid of. The concentration is the third eye. The focusing is using your visual eyes. Concentration is the focus. And guess what? When we talk in focus, in reference to concentration, focus is like a light bulb. Concentration will be like a laser. You see the light difference, the tightness of it? So that would what you would want to do. You want to concentrate so hard that you affect matter, subatomic particles. And now your mind sends pulses into them. And you affect everything in this matrix. But your willpower is in your concentration. Manipulating elements. Yes. That's why it's good to learn the basics. Once you start seeing the elements, because that's what they are, you'll learn them. These dots will become in a circle now. This is the dot in the circle. If you can see the circle, let me make it all big and sloppy. You see the circle. Yeah. The thoughts become silence. That's right. You see the circle with the dot, that's Kundalini. You know, that's your circumference. And that will be you. Then you start putting more dots in it. Hydrogen, helium, beryllium. Look up Kundalini, you'll see them in there like that, the 5 forces. They're in circles. These 5 forces come out to all the forces in the universe. The forces is the gods. So you learn the forces, you learn what compels you to be who you are. You learn to see the forces. Like I seen somebody say they can see them. So that's what you want to learn how to do, see the forces. Force the play and turn off your lights and see in the night, into starlight. You could see the magenta spectrum. It's there. If you could get rid of enough lights and seeing natural light, your eyes could detect between the darkness and the magenta spectrums of the sunlight, of the starlight. So once you could pick up the starlight is alive. Everything is alive. Every light source is alive. There's nothing here that's dead. Only thing that's dead is our consciousness. Everything is alive, and it becomes alive once you're conscious of it. So once you become conscious of it, then you know. Nerissa Cummins, yes. So pretty much, it doesn't make no sense to do no reading on anything. It look like we do better off just talking. So I do believe everybody get the picture, and we are the ancient ones. So it would be bound better to, if you look at something, then cover your eyes in front of your of light. Your mind will still see it. Good practice, yes. And that's it right there. That's the thing. You see, you want to be able to capture things. If you're going to do magic and you want to get into this, your eyes is the capturer of things. Everything you're doing is not a force outside yourself. This is psychology. You have the willpower to be God and do anything. You're angelic, you're demon, you're beast, you're the dragon, you're all those things. You shapeshift. And so by you psychologically understanding this, you don't have to draw the circle and make the sigil. You do it in your head with your willpower. That's really what's going on. But they do those to control what comes out of you. So you only pull out what's on the sigil or the circle you made. But if you have total will control, like through yoga and the exercises, you will whatever you want at every given time without showing a symbol or doing an incantation or having any signs on you. That's the true power. That's the God magic, and that's the one you need to learn. But first, you have to acquire these abilities through alchemy, and it's not something you go through more than for 6 months the most, because they direct you through it. Study the Renaissance. You see the Renaissance period, everybody got the star and the moon and the sun in the pictures, and the circles and the DNA symbol. They showing you all the signs right there. That's what it's pointing you to. Your higher consciousness. They killed it. You don't hear nothing about it. They tell you it's the Dark Ages. That's a lie. That's the age of enlightenment. And this is what you want now. Trust me. You gotta have faith in yourself, you know, and that's the start of it. When we learn in this, we're gonna go like tomorrow. We're gonna look at it from a Sanskrit perspective, because when we learn in true religion or religion, the Bible, we're going to learn the Bible is just a rewrite of the Sanskrit biophysiology book, where Jesus, everything will make sense in reference to what we're talking about. You have to learn it the right way so that when you experience this, you experience in the Devis, you don't think devilish thoughts like what we're just having religion to have in the Western world as our definition. You have a broader definition to equate your experiences to, because I didn't have it back then, but now you're going to have it available to you, so you won't be in a hospital with mental disease talking about schizophrenia, talking about this autism, all this crazy stuff. That's a lie. Just face your spirits. The ancestors see you as a future healer. You're going to communicate between two worlds. You're going to have the ability to project ethereal energy and heal people and travel many places. This is the start of it. But you first have to break the governor switch on yourself. Open up your nadis. So I hope we get an understanding. If you look at something, then cover your... Oh, I already read that one. Don't listen to Naresh. Lost Scrolls of Solomon, the combo the Damien had told they feed off sheaf body, he said. They cling on the Na-Mets. Never was able to see the meaning of the Na-Mets looking up etymology. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I know that. I love that book too, Christopher Anderson, great book, Lost Scrolls of Solomon. I would recommend it to anybody, man. That's a real experience. Let me tell you, I know about that. And, all right, so what's the sheaf body? The sheaf body is your emotional body. It's the animal body. And they have the right to eat it. You don't want it. But this is the animal body is your emotional body. That's what make you emotional. You know? And let me read this one more time. In Solomon's version of it, right, you said that the combo with the Damien had told they feed off the sheaf body. He said they cling on to the Mets. All right, the Mets or whatever is the actual now, because I read this, the energy that we produce different energies from fear, anxiety, sex. These different energies is what you would call the non-mets, but I think you had spelled it wrong. I didn't see it exactly like that. All right, between the different bodies, we have the casual body, the emotional body, the astral body. Each aspect of it is deep, is very deep. And the body he's talking about, believe it or not, there is a body that once it severs from your body, you're dead. You could sever one of those bodies, and not your astral body, but one of them could sever you and you could die. But you're not going to know that stuff, trust me, because that's some ancient magic. But the namas and the sheath bodies, these is what we're talking about, these spirits that we're pulling back out to be in our aura, our macabre, bring it alive, get it spinning. Well, with it now, if you don't understand what the sheaths is the sheaths is the build up to make your macabre spin as you go through the underworld. Every gatekeeper you face, you're gonna face a gatekeeper that holds your perception, your consciousness into a certain, containment. It don't go but a certain level. You have to have the wisdom of Solomon or pass his test for you to get to your next level. So once you pass a gatekeeper, each gatekeeper is a ring. That's why I profess Lord of the Rings. As you pass a gatekeeper, he comes over your body. If you ever see the Devis now come out of here. You get your little man that his body is sticking out, just his top part of his body is here, and you see him out the circle. That's the Devi always sticking out, and that's the circle that you're in. You understand? So he's the gatekeeper of a perception. And once you pass him, he's the sheath now over you. You have different sheath, the Joker, the Clown, the Hangman. All of these is different aspects of yourself that when you die, you're going to bug out because you're going to see all of this. And you're like, what the hell is this? But it all exists. The tarot, Aleister Crowley, they're not telling you something that don't exist, who you are. When you look at the tarot, I'll give you a good example because each card is actually spirits, your spirits that's pushing you to make certain decisions for their sake, And so you get to understand spiritually, you're here to do something, and the forces is guiding you. Learn the forces, you learn the gods. You can see the forces. That's what more you need to look at than to see it as an Egyptian picture in Google. No, they're the forces. Isis is part of the whole system. Isis is the system. And the forces that govern is the demions. So, all of this, we're going to look into tomorrow through the Sanskrit version, Kundalini, because this is the medical part of it, that you will have to understand why people have mental disease or think people is crazy when they're not. They use it to make money off of it. Greater is she that is in me, that is he that is it, the world, and that's the Bible. Yes, Diane Creole, definitely. So if you have a sigil, what does it mean? Well, Nashima Collins, it depends who created the sigil. You can't define no sigil. I'll do a basic sigil right here so you get a quick understanding how a sigil will work. I'm going to try to just do I am because it's a quick word. So you would take the I am. You see how I got I am on this paper now? You would make it into a sigil by just make it into a form, an image. So I would take the I, and then I would take the A, and then I would take the M, and it would be this little thing right here. And this will be my sigil. You see how this is with the A, I am? But you would want to make it look like a creature or a being. That's the whole idea of it, to give it form. So anything that you can in any fashion to make it look like something, like I designed over here, this same one. All of these now is what we call a sigil. So most sigil now would be something that was something like, I hate you. I hate you. Now you take those letters and you put it into a form where you got the I, H, A, T, E, Y, O, and then the U, and it will look something like this. You see, I made a sigil right here with I hate you. So you will only see this as a symbol. You be wearing it and you think it means what? It just something that in your subconscious, this is what this interpret as I hate you. It don't read this I hate you in words. Subconscious don't read words. It don't know what that means. It know what pictures, like you're going to go to the bathroom, you see yourself standing up, then you go to the bathroom. So when your subconscious see this now, it knows I hate you. It sees this and know how to interpret. It's this incredible tool an incredible computer, I mean, and could interpret this I hate you, and you'll have self-hate. You hate yourself. So all logos is actually sigils that you don't know what it's saying about you. It's sending a vibratory frequency to you, and you interpret it in your subconscious mind. Make you want to say, oh, I'm going to McDonald's. Oh, I'm not. You wasn't hungry, but all of a sudden I'm hungry. You see these logos. So that's basically how a sigil works. I just designed one to show you what they are. So you can't interpret one unless you was the originator of it to interpret it, because you didn't make it. Now, our enemies deem this as evil for a reason. Yes, they don't want you to awaken to this T. Godini. And why not listen to me? Narisha Cummins, I'm only asking questions. I'm asking you, what's the question? Whoever that was in an angel of a gang stalker, I don't know that person. I'm getting off. They are tapping in on me. Narisha Cummins, you going through your Kundalini. I think you need to just get in touch with me off of the this live, and then we could talk in personal, so that we could just get an understanding. I know I don't want to speak too much on that, but I do advise you, just hit me up. Hit me up. Big Smile YouTube. I'm so glad that you're doing those lives now. Greetings, Moisey. What's up, Moisey? What's going on? I'm gonna hit you up. You done blowed me. That's what's up, Chris. That's what's on. But we did our thing for tonight, man. And I'm getting tired. I'm gonna go chill out. I want to keep doing this, and we're gonna understand this more, because it's our journey back to ascension, getting out of this matrix. It's more to come. It's a lot gonna happen, because we're just entering this field, and if we don't learn this field, they're gonna give us options, and we ain't gonna be free to do what we want. So at least by you learning this, what's coming up in science, what's coming up in technology, you already got a hand ahead of everybody by learning the science. Yes, Diablo 6 Abra. I mean, thank you very much. Thanks for the gnosis. Peace to you too. Sigil are deeper than I thought. Yes, Christopher Anderson, they are. And everybody make them when we do them to end off sigils, so you understand the significance. It's not just what I just said. I don't want to put them in a bad way. You could make a sigil say, I want to be rich. I want to have riches. And put it in your subconscious. The real way it works, then, since you want to learn it, then, is that what you just did, you take this, and what you would do with this is you would masturbate to this. I hate you with the person you're sending it to, and this will go to them. That's the real way it would be done. Same thing positively. You would just put the word, I want to be rich, I want to acquire money, and send it to your subconscious by masturbating, looking at the sigil. Your subconscious interpret it, and your subconscious send your soul to go get money. It send your soul to go get you this. It's your subconscious mind is only out for your survival. It don't care about nothing else, only survival. So you could program it by doing those sigils under those circumstances. I know this sounds heresy, but it's the truth. You understand? They're not telling you everything, but I ain't gonna hold nothing on you. How can I get in touch with you? Narisha Cummins. You know what? I'm gonna open up this. I got this phone on here. Let me tell you right now how you can help me out. And I'm gonna put it so you can see it. Let me see. You can see this? Yeah, it's for the world to see it. Whoever want to see it. 347-430-5360. Good God Almighty. How can I get... you heard that, Chris? I understand what you're saying, but it's the truth, man. I gotta tell the truth. But you can hit me up on that. Yeah. So don't expect me to always pick it up, because I got a private life too. But now you got access to me. That's a phone number. So basically the sigil is deep, as you should see. I call you a couple of times. Yes, I've been going through some changes, Mosey. Hit me up day after tomorrow, and you will get through. I'm doing one more thing. I'm up far dealing with some people. It's deep. I don't even want to talk about it here, but that's why I haven't been able to. But hit me up and we can discuss it. But sigil, its significance when we're doing the circle and you're doing your incantations, it would have been of those, beings like you see for Raphael, Ariel, even for Sabadoth, Astroth. All of them got sigils. And all right, why I don't mess with it? Because I wasn't there when they made it. You understand? They claim that's their sigil. I doubt if it is, and I doubt if they're gonna give it to us. So I don't use it in that sense, but I know the science of Solomon. We could go over it anytime. Okay, cool. In Syria, word. Want to visit you becoming South America? Bet. That sounds good. I could work with that. I could work with that. So when we see it in the Gotia books and we see it in the magic books that offering us the pre-made sigils, we can make them ourselves the same way I just told you. That's all it is. Then encircle it. You could even make it into an ornament that means something sacred to you. And you sacrilege it to the gods. You use your saliva to do it. you know. And once you do that, we'll take it from there. I'll teach you the rest. Anyway, it's getting late. We did enough for tonight. I'm glad y'all tuned in. It's 1 o'clock. Sure, we could do this till 3. Because I'm about to go meditate and go talk with the spirits now and deal with them. Let me say this before I do go. When you get into the spiritual world, honestly, this is what makes it weird, and I'm gonna let you know. It's like every time you're going to sleep, it's not the same no more. Like you just lay down and go to sleep. Every time you go to sleep, it's like a portal open, and you have to go through. You cannot go to sleep. It's not gonna happen. It's like that same little circle just coming open, and it takes you every night. It takes you every night. So that's the only thing with it. So you stay over on the other side and get things, and you come back over. So I just wanted to put that in your ear so you know. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I really respect everybody who took their time out of their day to tune in and represent with me. And stay tuned. We're going to learn so much from each other, and we're going to keep this going. Let's just end it off with some energy sharing between us real quick. Let's get into a quick meditation and send energy. If y'all want to focus on the dot, you can focus on my pineal for energy. I'm sending it through there. Here we go. Okay. University of Conscious Science. One love, everybody. Thank you, Isaac Miller. I appreciate you doing live streams. Really good vibes from you. Really chill and light info. And always thank you, brother. You're welcome. Chris, thanks, noble peace and love. Definitely, Danielle, Kumanis, respect, blessings. I really appreciate y'all,